y'all see that shit that happened in the airport where that lady hit that dude? I mean, yeah, where the lady hit the dude.
Wasn't it like, yeah, it was one of them crazy airlines.
Yes, it was like Spirit, I think. And the little lady and the dude got into the altercation.
Yeah.
Were they dating too?
No, they weren't
See,
dating.
I figured this gonna lead into your conversation, whatever your name is down there. So that's why I brought this up, because I just thought that was real crazy. I'm gonna let you go ahead and take it, whatever your name is down there. He gonna tell you.
I think everybody knows my name. It's just you who need to learn it.
Shazy.
But yeah, so that brings up the good topic of. So we are starting to see a lot of instances where females are fighting with their significant other or attacking males, right? And of course, everybody knows that the whole thing is a male should never hit a female. But when do we consider it okay for a male to defend himself? Because like the story that I was going to talk about was the influencer Courtney Taylor, when she allegedly, basically, a video came out. So she murdered her boyfriend, right? But then a video has surfaced like months before where she was caught in an elevator. She was attacking him, and he wasn't hitting her or anything like that. He was just trying to kind of defend her off. But then, you know, like I said, that video is out there. I guess the elevator surveillance captured that or whatever. So that video is out there. And then a month later, he's found murdered, and then she's charged with murder or whatever. And then we had an instance with Blueface and his girlfriend, what is it, Roxanne? Where basically they in Vegas, she's definitely pissed at him for whatever reason, and she's kind of going in on him. He's trying to defend himself, but again, he's trying to keep his cool. A couple of times he did kind of have to smack her, you know what I'm saying? And then, so in that case, people came to his defense. In that case, you know what I'm saying? Everybody kind of saw that she was aggressive. Didn't nobody really say too much about him kind of trying to defend himself. But with that situation in the airport where the woman kind of, she kind of bucked up on the man. I don't know. I know she pushed him and all that. And then he kind of pushed her back, but he did push her down. But it was like everybody came to the woman's defense. Like all the men was like, hey, what, you step up, why don't you fight a man? But she was clearly in the wrong. So that brings me to my topic. When is it okay? Because again, this is an on the rise thing. And again, you know, back to my personal situation, I remember what my mom told me, because I was in the 5th grade. This little girl got mad at me for some reason or whatever. Anyway, but she slapped that. She slapped the hell out of me. I get to her. She slapped, I don't know what out of me, right? And then she ran by the teachers, so I couldn't get her, right? But it was like, right, because you know, you remember they used to, in elementary school, that you go to recess like at the end of the day, right before you go home. So she ran by the teachers, so I couldn't get her, right? So my mom, even though I could ride the bus home, my mom used to come get me or whatever from school. And so, but like this day, I was like, oh no, she finna get it or whatever, because she slapped me. So I was trying to get on the bus or whatever, and the bus driver wouldn't let me on because I normally don't ride the bus. Even though that's the bus that would drop me off at home, the bus driver was like, I don't know you, you can't get on the bus. And so when I walked up to the car, my mom was like, she just immediately knew something was wrong. And she was like, what's wrong? And of course, you know, I'm trying to downplay, oh, nothing. And she's like, nigga, what's wrong with you? So I told her, and she was like, come on. So she walked me back down to the bus. The little girl came out because I guess the girl think like, oh, he with his mama. And so my mama was like, that's the girl who slapped you? And I was like, yeah. She was like, well, you slap her back. And I had to slap her back. Because my mom was like, if a girl hits you, if she's bold enough to hit you like a man, then you should beat her like a man, because she shouldn't put her hands on you. So that's what my mom always taught me. But again, like I said, the world doesn't view it that way. So what are y'all guys' thoughts?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, it's kind of, I didn't have that type of mom, you know, in that type of situation, you know. And my growing up, it was always you just don't put your hands on a woman, you know what I mean? Like, and I have to be honest about it, you know what I mean? Like, I grew up in an era, I grew up in that, you know, we grew up in that era where it just came out of that thing where dudes was actually getting in trouble for domestic violence and shit like that, you know, because it didn't used to be a thing. You know, it used to be a thing that if domestic violence happened in the house, that and you call the police were like, shit, well, what you did to piss him off? You know what I mean? Because of course, naturally, the man is going to win. You know, and that's just the kind of world we used to live in. And then it came to a point to where women actually were able to start standing up and defending themselves and shit like that. But nonetheless, I grew up in a situation where I saw domestic violence and shit like that. And so just seeing that and growing up with that at times. Now, don't get me wrong, my mama wasn't no hoe. Now, my mama, she gonna box too, and she probably even started it sometime. But, you know, nonetheless, seeing that, growing up in that kind of atmosphere and seeing that, it makes me want to have a cooler head when it comes to women, period. You know, so I know women are much more emotional creatures than we are. You know what I mean? So my first natural instinct is, you know, first off, don't put your hands on me. You know, I'm just like, buddy, don't put your hands on me. And if I just so happen to initially react when it happened and you might get slapped or pushed back, that's on you because you shouldn't put your hands on me. Now, what you just said you did as like you went for the bus after y'all left class and shit, I don't know if I would have held it that long. But as a kid, I probably would have, because you didn't slap there for everybody. So yeah, I'm gonna get your ass. But as an adult, you know what I mean, I'm gonna hold myself back because I know that I am a man and that I don't want to do you like that. You know what I mean? But still, you don't put your hands on a man. I tell my sisters that. I tell, any woman that. Do not put your hands on that man. If you can't beat that man with your words, then you need to walk away. But you also need to know that your words are short. And so if you push the person so much, the person is going to react. You know?
Yeah, I'm going to agree with what Misty Monroe says, because she says no one should put their hands on each other, period.
That's right. If you can't use your words.
And that's right. You should walk away. And, but in reality, we know people.
And you know what? That's all good and beautiful and wonderful. Like you said, that's the perfect world. No one should put their hands. Right. But my question is, this is what I want to get y'all view on. The person, I'm going to say the female, and you know what? I want a different perspective.
This is the one at the airport, right?
Well, this is all of them. You got to think about it this way too. So a female puts her hands on a man. Basically, she's fighting the man for whatever reason the case be, whatever the case be or whatever. Is it okay for him to, so basically, if she's the aggressor, is it okay for him to fight back? Or should he just sit there and is it as humans, because he's supposedly the stronger sex, he's supposed to just stand there and take it? Is that what we're saying?
In my opinion, I don't in no way think he should stand there and take it. I think it should be, if it was me in the situation, I'm gonna gauge, how am I gonna really hurt this woman if I actually attack her back? But I think you should definitely defend yourself for sure. I mean, you may not have to punch her in her face or do anything like that. If you can restrain her, but it's okay to defend yourself. Now, if she box up like Holyfield, now you box up too.
Now, and knowing Rock is gonna do that. Rock is gonna do just that. So Rock and Blueface is a different situation because she likes that. She gets off on that. Like, she's gonna hit him and he's gonna hit her back. And like, I want to know what happened to her tooth. Did he knock the tooth out? Was the tooth already gone? What happened to the tooth? And I
well, y'all know what's interesting about Rock?
What?
Rock is an athlete. She used to be a track star.
You can tell.
Yeah, she's an athlete, and she was also on what's that, Ultimate Warrior? She actually won.
Oh,
so she's a very athletic chick.
Did you see how she hit Slim?
Did you see how she folded Persuasion up in that sight?
Right. So you need to gauge. You have to look at who. Just like any other fight, you got to look up like who you going against. You got to size them up. Now, if that one look like she about to come at
even
you,
though she's an athletic female, you can still tell he's the strong. Because like even with the little situation in Vegas, you could tell that he can take her. He can definitely.
Blueface like 6'4". Blueface tall as hell.
But he's a slim dude.
I think the best thing
he's a dude.
He's a little dude.
He's a dude and he's super tall. I don't care how athletic he is. He can choke her out at any moment. I mean, how athletic she is, he can choke her out. Go back to your people, though. Go back to your people. What her name was? Courtney Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of shady stuff going on right there with that whole situation, though. You know what I mean? Because yes, there's been plenty of footage of her being the aggressor out there with him. You know what I mean? Like, they said that, like it was known that she was the aggressor in a lot of altercations between them two. But the thing that was kind of fucked up was his brother, and everybody was trying to tell the police, no, she did it. She did something. They were trying to act like she ain't do it because it was this whole thing about him being a black man. I'm just gonna go on and say it. Black men are considered to be a little bit more threatening, especially to a Caucasian woman. And so in the beginning of it,
a black, he was
like African or something. I can't even say his last name.
He's African.
His name is Christian something to start with an O. I don't even know how to say it. I ain't gonna try and murder his name.
But guys, you have to also realize that there are cases of female on male abuse.
I say this all the time.
Not being reported.
I say this all the time. Men be getting raped.
I'm not talking about. I'm talking about.
It's not funny. It's not funny. It's not funny, but it's serious.
No, it's not funny.
You can suffer in any type of relationship.
We talking about domestic abuse.
But y'all gotta check on the men out here. I'm telling y'all, check on the men.
We're not talking about rape. That's another conversation.
Oh my God,
shit be happening. I'm telling y'all.
But I mean, I think just a lot because of they always say how men are so proud that they just don't come forward with what's going on. They just handle it.
I don't think it's so proud. I think we live in a world where we have made it like the male is supposed to be this masculine, dominant person. So it's kind of like it's not pride. It's basically it's shame. It's basically because if he comes forward, like I said, if he comes forward to the authorities, they're gonna kind of look at him like, okay, that's a female. You sure?
He's gonna get questioned a lot more.
Right.
Than
So he's gonna be like, is it, you a man? You can't handle that. So I don't think it's pride. I think it's necessarily, do I want to face this opposition? It's kind of like how you can consider like a lot of times women don't report rape because they don't want to have to.
Men don't report it. Men never report it. That shit happen for real. I'm being so serious, y'all. That shit be happening.
Because of society, the way we kind of, so we look at the woman, what was you wearing? Was you being promiscuous and all this stuff like that? Instead of just saying, okay, you know what? I'm sorry this happened to you. Let's look into this. We got to question everything. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the same thing with like a male. If he's saying
would be going crazy before you gray shorts.
Right. They looking at you like, yo, you a man, you can't handle that. You know what I'm saying? What's wrong with you? You a punk?
Dudes get raped, y'all. I'm telling y'all, dudes get raped. We need to do a thing on that too. Talk about, we can't leave out the fellas. I think fellas get denied a lot when it comes to mental health and mental awareness and shit. We get depressed. We go through shit too.
We do.
Like, life be hard. Like, it's standards out here that people have to live that, that society make us think that we have to live up to. So men go through things. We go through a lot. Y'all women think y'all got it bad. We got it bad too. We're supposed to be the provider. We're supposed to look nice,
strong, be able to take anything.
Smell good, and we ain't supposed to tell people we be getting raped and shit. It's hard out here for a dude. It's hard out here. Yes, rape.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
But I think
yeah, G.